Good morning, seventh grade. It is Friday the 26th. We will quickly go through the judicial branch together today, and then on Monday, I'll give you your study guides. We're aiming to take this test a week from yesterday, next Thursday. So we're going to have to get our study guides and work on them Monday. We'll have to go through them together and get on the same page as far as answers wise on Tuesday. So you only have one day in class to work on those, but you should be able to fill that out as we go through them on Tuesday. Also, anything that you might be missing, because I feel bad that it's rushed, but I also don't want to have us go to spring break and come back and have to take that test. I don't think that's going to be good for our success rate. So we're going to try to get this in by next Thursday, which is March 4th. 4th? Yeah, I think it's 4th. So with that said, let's talk about the judicial branch today. And the study guide, just like the Constitution one, is broken down by which you'll have to list and which you'll have to do multiple choice. There's no essay on this one, 75 questions instead of 106. So there is less work to be done. But as I said in class, people do not as well on this a lot of times because they think, oh, this is easier. I don't have to study as much. So don't get that in your head. You still need to try to prepare for this. But the judicial branch of Illinois administers, basically legislative makes laws, executive enforces the laws, and then judicial interprets the laws and makes sure that they're followed correctly. It's divided into a system of courts, and the three types of main courts in Illinois are circuit courts, appellate courts, and the Illinois State Supreme Court, which is different than the United States Supreme Court. Okay? The Illinois Supreme Court is obviously the highest court in the state. Only court that can overrule the Illinois Supreme Court is the United States Supreme Court, and that is true for all of the 50 states, which makes sense. There's no reason that the Illinois State Supreme Court should be able to overrule rulings from the Mississippi State Court or whatever state you want to pick. Okay? And so just like at the United States level, appellate courts are just courts that are hearing cases that have already been heard. Okay, if there's a mistrial or something goes wrong, you can appeal that up to an appellate court. Okay, but as I said back in the United States Constitution section, it can't just be like, I don't like the outcome of this trial. There has to be some sort of procedural or mistrial step that has happened, not just I don't want to go to jail, because of course people don't. Okay, circuit courts are the general trial courts in Illinois. There was, it's 2021 right now, in case I have to use these videos in later years, but the courthouse in Benton has been, they're refurbishing it, rebuilding the entire thing. They tore it down, so that's why there's that big gaping hole in the square in Benton where the court used to be. But they hear cases, they make judgment on guilt and punishment. Okay, this is what you think of when you think of basically, a court, whether that's in a movie or TV show or in real life. If you've ever been to court, and some of you probably have, doesn't mean you've committed a crime. You can go and just watch the outcome of trials. In fact, in high school, my social studies class did that. We went to court one day just to watch a trial take place. It's public, so you can do that. And the guy who was on trial wasn't really super happy about a bunch of 15-year-old kids giggling while he was, think possibly going to prison, but it is what it is. So most of the work of the state court system takes place in these circuit courts. Circuit court judges are elected by the voters. They serve 6-year terms. Appellate courts, there are basically 5 appellate court districts in Illinois geographically. Okay. The closest to us is in Mount Vernon. If you go over to Benton and drive up 37 to Mount Vernon, you will be, when you get into town, you will be, you almost run smack dab into the courthouse. So judges serve 10-year terms, and there are 3 judges on each of the circuit court panels. Okay, so like I said, these are just courts that if something goes wrong in your regular trial and you want to appeal it up the ladder, so to speak, um, this is appellate courts are for. Okay, the Supreme Court of Illinois, original jurisdiction. This means they hear cases for the first time. In other words, there are three types of cases that can go directly to the Supreme Court. Okay, that is revenue. Those are cases dealing with the state budget and money. Mandamus, which is basically a court order that they want to hear this case themselves, or habeas corpus. Habeas corpus sounds like a Harry Potter spell, but it is not. It is an order to produce a person. We talked about the amendments. The Sixth Amendment to the United States means you have the right to a speedy trial. And so if you get arrested and they just throw you in a jail cell and keep you there for months against your constitutional rights, the Illinois Supreme Court come in and say, like, bring him out or her out. We're going to go to you have to charge this person with something, or else you have to let him go. But aside from those three cases, it is just the final court of appeal. So you could start at circuit courts, go up to appellate courts, then all the way up to the Supreme Court. Judges are elected by the people. You'll start seeing signs here pretty soon, I'm guessing, to serve 10-year terms. And there are 7, not 9 like the United States. There's 7 Supreme Court justices in Illinois. You don't have to know any of their names. Once judges have been elected, they don't run against, like, Mr. Batts. It's not Bob Smith against Mr. Batts. It's, do you want to elect Bob Smith again? Okay, and you just vote yes or no. Like when you're in like 4th grade and you're going to ask a girl out, do you like me? Yes, no, maybe. Like one of those. And so that's basically the idea. Okay, but it takes 60% to vote yes, and so people get voted out quite a bit because getting people to vote on 60% of everything is not really happening very often in the year 2021. But if not, then you have a regular election. If you get 59 or lower percent of the vote, then you have a regular election, or it would be Bob Smith versus Jim Johnson or whatever. Okay, the state is divided into 5 judicial districts of approximately equal population. All judges, the qualifications: you have to be citizens, you have to be a lawyer, a licensed attorney, in other words, and you have to live in the state from which, or the district from which you're elected. So there's no age limit, but you have to go to regular undergrad college and then law school and then pass that. I mean, so you're going to be at least in your mid-20s at best before you're able to become a judge. They can't stay a lawyer. They have to dedicate their full time to judicial duties. In other words, you can't be a lawyer and a judge because that's a conflict of interest. Okay, the lawyers are the ones that argue to the judge, right? And so if you're the lawyer and you're like, I think my client's not guilty, and you're also the judge, and then you're like, oh yeah, he is not. It doesn't work out. So all courts are under the supervision of the Chief Justice of the Illinois Supreme Court. That is it for the day. Make sure you get these written down. I will attach this so you don't have to copy them down straight from the video. You can have the Google Slides open at home. And those of you that asked for one yesterday, I gave you a paper copy, which a lot of you are probably not watching this video anyway. So have a good rest of your Friday. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.